Almost 2,000 years ago, a man sat at his desk and wrote down his thoughts and lessons he learned in life. And see, this man believed he found the key to living a happy, a fulfilled, and a successful life. He believed that to achieve these things in life, you had to master the skill of... Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Josh, and on this channel we talk about how to live your life to the fullest by being intentional. Today I want to talk about this man who, by his writings, has influenced me and changed my life so far for the better. The man I'm talking about is Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius was one of the Roman emperors and probably also the most important person back in his days when he was still alive. You see, throughout life, Marcus wrote down his thoughts and his ideas, and after his death, they were collected and published into a book called the Meditations. And one of the main ideas Marcus talks about in his book is the idea of controlling and mastering the skill of controlling your thoughts. He wrote down, and I quote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Or, in a more philosophical or poetic way, the soul becomes dyed with the colors of its thoughts. You see, almost all of our behaviors and our actions are influenced and find origin inside our mind and inside our thoughts. It is how you think about certain events and about certain things that happen to you that will decide where you will end up in life and which are going to be the things you are going to achieve. You see, when it comes to thoughts and how people look at life, we quickly make the distinction between either the optimist or the pessimist. Is the glass half full or half empty? Another thing to think about is that Marcus considered himself to be a Stoic. Now, one of the main ideas or key principles for Stoicism is the idea of that there are things in our life which are in our control and there are things that lie beyond our control. They believe that the things which are in our control are the ones that we can change, while the things that are beyond our control are the things which we should accept and be indifferent to. The things which are beyond our control we could consider being external. And Marcus wrote about this, again quoting, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your interpretation of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment." You see, so the Stoics believe that it is not the things itself that happen to you in life that can cause you harm, but it is how you look at those things and how you choose to respond to those things in life that will decide whether it will cause you harm or not. But what Marcus and the Stoics have taught me is that at any time you have the power to control and decide what you think about things. Now, I have a lot of friends who struggle with this idea, like how can you influence your thoughts, how can you control your thoughts? And the idea here is that you are not your thoughts. Your thoughts are things that your mind makes up as a way of protection or a way of coping with things. And the thing that we have to remind ourselves of is that we, at any time, have the power to choose our reactions and to choose our thoughts. So now in this next step, while we have now learned from Marcus that at each time we have the power to choose our thoughts, I want to give you a framework or a set of steps that can help you get conscious about this idea. When something happens to you in life, something external, something which can be quite mundane towards something that can be very impactful, I want you to do the following. As far as it is possible, try not to react over emotionally, but try to take a step back and look at the situation as if you are looking at a painting in a museum. Try to look at it in a way that you are not part of it anymore, but you get this third-person view of the situation. Remind yourself at the time that I am not my thoughts and I am not my emotion. I'm not telling you to hide them away or to ignore them. I'm telling you to look at them in a neutral way and to accept them for what they are and to give them a place. So whenever something happens to you that lies beyond your control, take a step back, look at the situation. Remind yourself, I am not my thoughts, I am not my emotions, but accept that emotion, which could be anger, which could be sadness, which could be fear, or which could be grief, or many more others, that these emotions are welcome and that these emotions are fine to be there. After you have been able to do that, you will not have been able to take control over the event, but you will have been able to take control over your thoughts. When you reach that point, that is the point at which you can ask yourself, how do I want to react to this? How do I want to interpret this? How can I use this for good? To give you a personal example, when my grandfather passed away, when I received the news after a phone call from my mother, I broke down in tears. I was sad, I was in grief, and I think it's a very natural thing to then tell yourself or ask yourself, why did this happen? I don't want this to happen. This is not fun. But at the time, I was able to quickly take a step back and to turn these feelings of sadness and grief into feelings of gratitude. Gratitude for the life that my grandfather had had, for the time that I had spent with him, and for having had the opportunity to have met him. Before we end this video, I want to leave you also with one final warning, and that is to be aware and conscious about the things that you feed yourself with. Just as you are feeding your physical body, how are you feeding your mental one? What are the things you are looking at? What are the things you are listening at? What are the things you are spending your time with? Are you spending a lot of time on the unimportant little things in life that are inconvenient or annoying? Or are you focusing on the bigger things, the bigger picture, the things that are important to you and valuable to you in life? Think for yourself how you can create a healthy mental diet, as to say, and be sure to learn how to master the skill so you can take control back over your life, be happy, be fulfilled, and be successful. If you want more help and tips on how to get mentally stronger and how to control your thoughts, I've made another video on the subject which you can find right here on the screen right now, so go check that one out as well. That brings us to the end of this video. If you've gotten any value out of it, please consider sharing it with others or consider subscribing to the channel to receive more videos like this. Let me know in the comments what you want me to make more videos about, or what are the things you want me to talk about or share things about. And then we'll see each other in the next one. Bye bye.